What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So one of the biggest questions that I got over the past 24 hours is the United States at war? Well, we're going to discuss that because there's multiple little wars and pre-wars going on right now. We got Russia continuing to invade Ukraine. We got China threatening Taiwan. And then now we have Israel being attacked by Hamas. This is turning into a major crisis. And one of the big questions, other than that over the past 24 hours is, why did everybody's phones go off on Wednesday? Was it October 4th? Why did everybody's phones go off? Why was there an emergency alert? What happened? Because that's what the speculation was. It was the United States knows something. The United States knows an attack is about to happen. The United States knows something is going to occur. But what? Well, we didn't know. Now some people are saying that the United States has known for about a week that an attack was going to happen. They just didn't know exactly where. Here's what I can tell you. The United States, according to multiple reports, had no clue that an attack on Israel was going to happen. They had no idea. And Israel had no idea as well. Now, what does this mean moving forward? Well, the United States and Israel are allies. Israel is a non-NATO ally. It is one of the closest allies to the United States in the Middle East. That creates a problem for us here in the United States because we are, and maybe not necessarily a problem, but we are going to step up. We are going to do what's right. We're going to protect our allies. We're going to protect our friends, whether they're, a close ally or somebody that's further away, like in the Middle East. What that means is the United States is not necessarily at war. But the United States isn't at war because this is a battle between Israel and Hamas. If this turns into more of a regional war, then the United States will likely jump in. President Biden already said yesterday that the United States fully backs Israel. Now, we have some problems. And those are problems that are, the biggest problem is mainly within the United States. And this is coming in a time when Israel can't afford for us to be patient. Israel can't afford for us to be, waiting and spending days to make a decision. Well, here's what we know. Within the first hours of the Israel attack, President Biden and lawmakers from both parties, both Republicans and Democrats, they both came out and publicly stated that they promise aid to Israel. Israel, again, is our closest ally in the Middle East. Of course, we're going to provide any additional aid that we can. But here's the problem. These attacks don't look like they're going to stop. It's not a quick little, attack and then, spends a couple days, maybe a week, and then it's over. Okay. Right now, what's happening, according to reports, militants are capturing women and children and the elderly. And they're taking them from their homes. Chances are they're going to use them to try to make a trade for Palestinian, prisoners. That could happen. Again, all this stuff's happening so quickly, and it's still, we don't have a lot of reports. We don't have a lot of confirmation as to what's going on. So when I say there's, we have reports. If I say it's official, now, one thing is official, okay? Israel has declared a state of emergency, that this is a war, all right? That's the one thing that was made official just this morning. But what is not official is 600 people from Israel have been confirmed killed. That's not official. That's an estimate. 300 people in Gaza have been confirmed, killed as well. or have been reportedly killed. Not yet confirmed. It is very difficult to confirm this at this time. We also know right now that the United States wants to help. They want to do everything that they can to help. The problem is, according to one Defense Department official, he stated that there's no immediate plans to send more weapons or military equipment over to Israel. They cannot do it at this time because, and he specifically stated this, again, this is a person that didn't want to be named, wanted more anonymity here, but he stated the United States has its hands tied behind its back simply because the House needs to elect a speaker. If the House of Representatives cannot elect a speaker, then aid going to Ukraine or now Israel would be disrupted. The other issue with not having a House Speaker is that the House Speaker is one of I believe it's 8 people that get briefed on matters of national security. Okay, so if the House Speaker, we don't have one, that means there's 11 people being briefed, 11 people giving their input, and having less people, yes, it might make it easier, but at the same time, the speaker is a crucial role. Now, one of the questions I received this morning, excuse me, is how will the American people be impacted as a result of what is going on? Well, first, what you need to understand is we will have to send additional aid. We need to send more aid to Ukraine. We need to send more aid to Israel. Again, they're one of our closest allies in the Middle East. Why would we delay this decision? Well, we're delaying this decision because we can't make a decision yet, right? In order for us to send aid, lawmakers first have to decide on who the Speaker of the House is going to be. That could potentially take another few days. We haven't heard about a vote happening today. Now, could there be an emergency vote? Absolutely. Will there be? Probably not. We will likely have a vote later on this week or potentially next week. Can Israel wait a week or 2 weeks? I doubt it. All right? So that is something that we do know. Right now, they say that lawmakers are standing firm on the amount of spending for this year. So when the person asked me this morning, how are the American people going to be impacted? Well, we don't know exactly how we're going to be impacted yet, but we do know that we will feel the impact, and here's why. Right now, lawmakers have stated that we have a spending cap, and that spending cap was negotiated during the debt ceiling negotiation. That happened back in, July. Now, that debt ceiling negotiation happened, and at the time, then Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Biden, they agreed that the United States government for fiscal year 2024 would not spend more than $1.59 trillion. Then Republicans came out and said that, no, not 1.59, we're going to go to $1.47 trillion. That's $120 billion less. Okay? That negotiation, that deal that Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Biden agreed to, according to reports as of yesterday, that deal is now off the table, and Republicans will likely ask for additional spending cuts. Now, whatever that final number may be, whether it's $1 trillion, 1.5, 1.4, we don't know yet, but whatever it will be, the problem there is this funding for Ukraine, this funding for Israel, is likely going to have to come out of that. Okay? So that's the first thing. Let's say we had $100 billion going to Social Security, go to the Social Security Administration. Well, if let's say we're now going to cut that, and that's going to be 80 billion, and again, I don't know, I'm throwing these numbers out here right now, just giving an example. Let's say that number now has to be 80 billion because we're going to send 20 billion to Ukraine. Or it may be 95 billion, and they're going to take $5 billion from the Social Security Administration, maybe from the IRS, from every different little program, like 4 different programs, take $5 billion from each one. They could do that. All right, so that's the first thing, that we will feel that impact when it does come, but it will not be right now. It will be soon, but we don't know exactly when. Again, we have until November 17th to pass the government funding bill. So I expect they will take every single day of that, unless things get worse in Israel, and then the lawmakers might be forced to pretty much vote on the next bill so that there's something there for Ukraine and for Israel. Here's the second thing. And the reason why this is second is because this is something that's still being discussed. We don't know this exact, the outcome of this yet. But what's going to happen tomorrow is we are likely to see a spike in oil prices tomorrow. Okay, on Monday. It'll be Monday, October, was today the 8th? So the 9th, we will see a spike in oil prices. Does that mean people in the United States are going to be paying more for gasoline? The answer is possibly yes. This spike, according to experts, is probably going to be very short. We're likely to see a spike in oil prices. This is going to happen. We know this. It might only be for a few days. It might jump up and come back down. So, this might be a trading opportunity for those that, want to trade this news. For those that are wondering what's going to happen in the future. Well, if this stays between Israel and Hamas, this is going to have a very limited impact on oil prices. But again, Israel and Palestine are not huge players when it comes to oil, right? But if this war expands, again, remember, Israel is our closest ally in the Middle East. The Middle East has oil, okay? Now, if this war expands and it's more of a regional war, that's when we're going to feel the impacts. That's when they say supply is going to get hit. If supply gets hit, we are going to see demand we know is going to increase, okay? But as demand increases and supply decreases, prices are going to shoot through the roof. So could we see a quick bump of 50 cents per gallon here in the United States? Absolutely. But will this happen within the next couple days? Probably not. This is likely something that's going to happen over the next month or two. But again, how long will this drag out? We don't know. So I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on right now, because again, is the United States in a war? The United States has some issues, but are they saying that this is a war? Absolutely not. That's the one thing that they do not want to do, is say that we're in a war with Russia, we're in a war with China, we're in a war with Hamas. They don't want to do that. All right? So is this a war? I'd say no. Are we going to have like warlike implications? Yeah, we are. So as we get more information, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Right now, we're still getting a lot of this information because reporters are just now starting to report back. Some are just fighting for their lives. Some are just, trying to stay in, buildings that aren't potentially going to collapse. So again, that's what's happening at this time. As we get more information, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.